Hey, welcome everybody to my Thursday subscriber stream here on Twitch and lichess. International Master William Paschall. We are otherwise known as Slaggy on Twitch. What's up, guys? We're going to do some game analysis and play some blitz and classical chess. I've got a challenge from, I think, a new player we have not played before. Raymond Carver is challenging me to 5-3. Normally I'm doing like 5-3 through 8-3. 5-3 is kind of fast, but we'll play. Alright. So we'll start it off with this this 5-3 game against Raymond. What's up? What's up, everybody? We're just starting. Raymond played d4. We've got the... Actually, I've been like working all day on the Blumenfeld Gambit video for the chess world. What's up, Raymond? d4, knight f6. Clash Kid. Is Twitch lagging for me? I don't think so. It looks good. Oh no. Subscriber stream. Clash Kid, you can't play. Your subscription has lapsed. No, I'm just kidding. We are running out of subscribers, so we lost a bunch this week. I'm almost playing the BOGO. Like, it's just probably the opening I've played the most against knight f3 in the last, I don't know, 10 years or so. So it's like automatic reaction for me to play bishop e4, but I'm working on c5 at the moment. I did 2 videos today on this. Alright, I think I remember the next move, b5. No lags for you. Macros 4200. No lag. We've got to take with the f-pawn. Raymond half accepting the gambit. Now you've got to take the second one if you want to play a full accepted. You can go Zlatka Olincic style here with e4 gambit. So actually, this is what I was working on today, the accepted variation. There's a lot of different ways for black to play this. The last line I looked at was like bishop e7. This isn't very common, bishop e7. So he just plays this. Alright, well there's a couple different ways we can approach this. Either with bishop b7 or not playing bishop b7, maybe leaving the bishop on c8. And now this is not normal. You're not supposed to leave that pawn on b5 just hanging. So he's actually sacrificing the pawn back. I've never seen that. I think that's transferring to a position that's not really very promising for white because he's no longer up a pawn, basically. It's probably playable. You can't even subscribe, so much lag. Thank you for subscribing. Clash Kid. Soltigo is our moderator. We're not going to force him to subscribe. And Macros, thanks for subscribing. Raymond, I don't know if he's a subscriber, but he is a friend of the stream. Alright, bishop b7. So you're supposed to take on a6, as sad as that is, Raymond. There really isn't another option. You just have to take on a6 if you want to play this variation. I don't have to take right away. I can just play like d5. Some players have tried bishop takes a6. You can also play rook takes a6. I really like this opening now that I've been working on it for the last month or so. I actually was playing it like 10 years ago, but I basically stopped, and then I wasn't playing very much in the last 10 years, period. So Blumenfeld kind of fell off my radar. It had lost, I thought it had lost its, it had lost a lot of its, let's say, surprise value. I'm not sure if this is actually a good move. That may be a bad move. We shall see. Interesting move. Not necessarily. I'm trying to play it like a queen's. I didn't notice anything weird with Twitch. Did you guys try to just, refresh the stream? Soltigo, thanks for being here, and thanks for being a moderator, which we desperately need. Yeah, guys, I forgot to mention already that we do in the subscriber stream like game analysis, And I don't know if I'm supposed to do this, but yeah, it looks okay. We're doing a lot of game analysis rather than just playing Blitz in the subscriber streams. I also strongly recommend tropical drinks, as I've got here one tropical drink with mystery ingredients. What's up, Owlet? Clash Kid, yeah, he subscribed like 5 minutes ago, and we're just getting the notification now. So maybe there is some kind of delay going on there. Bobby Fischer too. Yeah, it's funny. Bobby Fischer spelling Fischer right. A lot of younger people, like, they like create screen names based on Bobby Fischer, but they don't know how it's spelled. That's so weird for me. Like, if you're gonna honor somebody, like, at least know how to like spell their name. You see a lot of people who write like Fisher. A natural mistake, like, you know, if you're a taxi driver and not a chess player, but the younger generation, what are you going to do with them? Okay, so bishop takes b2 is possible, but it seems unnecessary. I'm just going to take here safely. We are not up any material, however. Maybe I should have thought longer on bishop takes b2. Would have left him taking on c5 or something. Bishop takes b2, rook b1. I also had to calculate knight takes c5. That probably doesn't work because the bishop takes f3 or something. I should have calculated a bit more here, but it is kind of a fast time control. I'd prefer to take with the queen in general and control the diagonal, but maybe better to keep the queen on d8 to just protect. But we don't have much. It feels like white is basically about equal here. We have a little bit of a central majority, but our king is also more open than white, so I'm not really happy. I think I should have taken on b2. Basically passed up an opportunity there. He's got rook takes c5. Can you believe that? So I've got to be careful about how I do this. Very solid play by Raymond Carver for someone who probably, you know, doesn't seem like they knew the theory. Kasimdzhanov. If they can't spell Alekhine, it's hopeless. As long as they can spell it. Spelling it is not as hard as pronouncing it. Alekhine is the Western pronunciation. Train bird. Well, we'll win on time, hopefully. His A pawn is hanging, but he can deal with that. I want to use our central pawn mass as a kind of springboard to an advantage. But yeah, queen d2 is absolutely the best move. I've got time to play d5, thankfully. But I'm not sure if I should play d5 first or another move like knight to c6, maybe getting more central control. Getting it while it's good. Get it while it's hot. Yeah, let's develop a piece, huh? This knight is always a problem, like in the Queen's Indian in this opening. It's hard to get it out in time. Structurally, you might argue black central control with the pawns gives him an advantage. But, you know, both sides have a 4-pawn and 2-pawn island. Knight e1's a good move, very safe. I think it's time to play d5. There really is nothing else. We have a superiority in the center, pressure along the A file. Possibilities of maybe a queen swinging over to like a7. Protected pass pawn. That could win the game maybe in and of itself. I think we're just winning material now. Dude, it's like 7 p.m. It's pitch dark and somebody's like sawing something outside. Okay. Welcome everyone to my subscriber stream. We're playing Blitz and doing some game analysis. If you have a game you would like to analyze and go over, just send it to me here on lichess. That's the best thing. I've got a couple of messages from those guys who want to analyze games. It's like they knew I was doing a stream or something. It's so weird. Let's start sawing like large objects, like when the guy on the top floor is doing his chess stream in the middle of the night randomly. Wow, man, that's not a bad game until the end. It was actually decent out of the opening. We've got G3, A6. Yeah, well, you can't just give me this pawn. I mean, it's not. I thought you were better at one point. You must have missed something. The engine says you're better. Well, I wouldn't give it 0.7. Possible weight is slightly better. You had Queen E3, double attacking C5, and my bishop on E4. When it looks like you really do. You really do have a slight advantage after that. Alright, guys, I'm not playing as many random players today as in my normal streams. So these guys like Tomoko, MJ, Azad, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to play you guys. We're going to play some Blitz games with the subscribers. We're going to do some game analysis. What's up, Antonio? Has the live started for a long time? We just started like 10 minutes ago. I do play with increment, anything between like 5 and 7 plus 3. What was the time control? That was 5 plus 3, right? I don't know why it felt even faster. Alright, so Nefedov. After this game, we'll check out one of these submissions for analysis. The last endgame would have been a piece of cake. I've got a passed pawn, a protected passed pawn on C4 railbird. I mean, that's pretty game over. That pawn is just like winning the game on its own. You really don't have to do a whole lot. So, against Nefedov, let's play an English opening. I think I've said that before. So thank you guys for subscribing. This is my way of saying thank you. We're doing a subscriber stream just basically for the subscribers, playing you guys, analyzing your games. This will last like 2.5 hours till 9:30 CET. Tomorrow I've got another Blitz stream in the morning. Well, alright, let's just play mainline symmetrical. I don't really like facing the symmetrical. I've played it sometimes. My problem with it with black is that it's kind of like too stable. Yeah, actually, come to think of it, we've played this with Nefedov several times recently, and I've got to try something different. I'm avoiding his Schliemann, it looks like. Not intentionally, Nefedov. I played E3 the last couple times against him. Let's just go ahead and play G3. That's more common. Against the bayonet, you play for my King's Indian. Well, it's the main line. You know, I mean, it always was since like the 90s. The bayonet attack, or B4. I think it's 9 B4. Somebody said 8. Morales means move 9. I think that's pretty much. There's got to be a lot of theory out there, Morales. I mean, I'm hardly like up to date because I've played like a million different things against the King's Indian over the years, and I'm not really up to tournament standard in my theory knowledge. If you study that enough, yeah, maybe you should play A5 instead of knight H5. It's less sharp, but safer for black probably to play the lines based on A5. You break up the queen side a little bit. It's kind of a concession, but I think less committal. But if you look at our last game, Morales, you know, if you just improve your play a little bit, you're in like a main line where black is supposed to be completely okay. So I think you can continue to play the line you're playing, just improve it a little bit. Against me, there's some interesting games in the same line we just played the last game. So black is supposed to be okay there. But But you might try a5 instead. So the mainline symmetrical variation. This last time we had against Snowball, this kind of dubious account, who never loses. He played a strange line, and then I blundered in my simul. I do give a simul. Excuse me for stuttering. I do give a simul on Sundays. It's every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. CET. And after I've played Rook B8, I thought there was something wrong with Rook B8. That's really weird. I concretely thought there was something wrong with Rook to B8 as a move. But why should it be that different from say A6, which is like the main line? If your intention is basically the same, to play A6 and Rook B8. By the way, I do want to mention that like Bishop E6 is playable. It was funny, there was a game between two English opening authors, John Donaldson against John Watson, like 10 years ago, and they published it in Chess Informator. It just was like funny because like the two greatest like English opening book authors of like the 20th century had to play this variation. Anyway, Rook B8. I guess Donaldson isn't really an English opening guy, but he plays the Accelerated Dragon for black and similar type of stuff. Okay, Rook B8, Bishop E3, A6, Bishop A7, Rook A8, and then Bishop D4. Is that maybe good for me? Sort of stealing a tempo. Normally I'm putting the bishop on D2 in this line, but I thought maybe we can profit from the rook on B8. He's going back anyway. I feel I'm playing very fast today. Thank you guys for subscribing. We need more subscribers. We lost a couple last week. I don't know what's going on. Alright, Rook B8. Whatever. We'll muddle through. Whatever. Alright, I've got game analysis suggestions. You really have to be a subscriber to do the game analysis, though. It's not really for everybody. It takes quite a bit of time. Hopefully we get at least one new subscriber today. So Rook B8, threatening B5. Are you really threatening B5? Not for sure. He will be eventually threatening B5. I was mostly working on videos today. I played a few blitz games this evening, but I'm a little bit exhausted, so I'm not quite as sharp as usual. We're burning a lot of time. I just don't like to make a move unless I believe it's the best move. A lot of people are always asking, why are you so far behind on the clock? Because I believe in quality moves rather than moving fast. I'd rather have less time in a good position that I understand than just like, spastically like just play moves quickly. Here he's preparing B5 obviously, and just don't know what my idea is. Maybe Rook FD1. What does that even do? Bishop takes F6 and C5 sometimes. Alright, this is experimental. Years ago, Watson recommended a move in this position that I played Rook FD1 immediately instead of moving the queen. So this is something kind of similar to that. But he has to be careful if he plays B5. Well, I have no Bishop A7 there. Now he's playing Bishop E6. Feels like he's like a tempo down off of normal positions somehow. I could possibly play a4. I want to thank you guys for subscribing for the last time today. I said it like 10 times, but I really mean it. Bishop e6, a4, or just hold the line here. Rook c1, b4, b5, take, bishop a7. Doesn't win the exchange any longer. Take with the knight. It's weird. He's getting in b5 in those lines. I guess I have to play b3. Trying to prevent b5. Nefedov is really playing fast today. Nikolai Pavlov, welcome. So Nefedov super fast. I'm super slow, I guess. It's just all relative. Trying to play this perfectly. Clash Kid said he played a nice game against an engine that we could analyze. Chessbase doesn't save the games, unfortunately. Oh. I played a game against an engine today. It was banned from lichess. The guy played 25 games in a row perfectly. It's not really a good strategy. Alright. Queen c8. Tropical drinks Thursday. No beer for me. If I take on f6 and you take on f6 and I play knight d5, I think that's a problem for black, isn't it? We mess up his structure. It's a really minimalist kind of approach here, but that's all I can really see. Got 50 seconds plus our increment. I played one time, he crushed me. I try to do that to everybody, Nikolai, but it doesn't always work. I can't remember when we played, but hopefully I played well. Yeah, I try to play good moves, not focused on the clock, but I'm in the minority. I think on lichess because of ultra bullet and other stuff, like playing super fast is getting to become like an absurd addiction. People, okay, if you want to be good at bullet, it's bullet, but if you want to be really good at chess, you have to take time, use your time, think. Chess is a thinking game. It's meant to be played, thoughtfully, using time. Unfortunately, most people are too ADD to do that, but that's what we're trying to do here. Nefedov, he's confident. Confidence in yourself is important. He played quickly in the first 2 minutes. Rook b8. I don't know. I didn't like queen c8 for sure. This is the beginning of some positional problems. Now, I totally don't understand. Aren't we just winning a piece here? Nefedov, what are you doing? Sometimes people get nervous that they're playing against someone when they're streaming and people are watching and they get stage fright or whatever, but it seems like Nefedov just dropped a piece. I want vodka. I want vodka too, but there's none in the house, and I shouldn't drink that while I'm streaming. Maybe tomorrow night when I'm playing poker. Alright, bishop takes g7. Well, Nefedov played too fast. What can we say? Maybe he's not warmed up yet today. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go over some games. We've got submissions here. Whoops, that's the challenges. I got submissions from Nefedov, from Macros42. Those guys are subscribers. Hope that wasn't too bad for 15 minutes of Blumenfeld prep. Wow, you did. Raymond Carver did Blumenfeld prep. Wasn't too bad, but you have to keep your pawn. That's the idea of that variation. You're basically pawn grabbing when you take on e6 and take on b5. You're consciously trying to keep the pawn. Yeah, Nefedov is like just fantasy island here. Does anybody remember that show? He's playing bishop c6. And I'm calling it Fantasy Island. If I play bishop takes f8, I'm up a rook, though. Yeah. It's like, do I want to be up a rook or up a piece? Because if I want to be up a piece, I can play f3. It's going to... I'm about to lose on time. Whoops. I forgot how little time I had. I got excited talking about the position. Making a Scooby-Doo-like noise. But now it's over. Now he's going to lose everything. The rook and the piece. So help you God. I guess knight d5 is kind of brutal. Knight d5 here or here. It's not good. You can actually get your queen trapped this way too. Not one of Nefedov's better efforts. You got to go back, way back into the back row. Almost back row. We get to keep our knight on f4. Maybe we'll do some sacrifices. We've got an extra rook. Alright, let's take a look at the opening. Fantasy Island, the plane. That dude's probably still alive. I thought I saw him somewhere. I guess he's dead. Alright. But I like the... What was the name? Ricardo Montalban. He was the best in Star Trek. Alright. Queen d3. The rook d1 move never really caught on here. We've got rook b8. This is an actual move. Wow. Not very common, but it's an actual move. Yeah, bishop e3 was right. I know that I looked at this at one point. So you got Svidler. Ribley, of course, only drawing. Yeah, bishop e3. b6 is lame. Do a6, bishop a7. We're following an Izoria game. I don't know why I'm stuttering today. Tiemann in 1980 couldn't win against Lichterink. And Izoria... Where is Izoria? Does he live in the United States? Probably not. Alright. Back to b8. And then rook fd1, the best move. Tiemann. It's all been played before. b3. This is a totally random game. Looks like best play. Queen c8 is a mistake. Rook c1. And now it's just a blunder. Now you have to take with the... Well, you have to let your pawn structure get smashed with knight d5. This is really bad for black, but what else can you do? I looked at this. Maybe, like, forcing me to weaken my structure. And then something like this. But along the e-file, you know what? Maybe this isn't so bad for black. Because I've weakened myself so much along the e-file. This might be playable. So anyway, I've got game submissions from Nefedov. Let's do Macros 42 because we just played Nefedov. Alright, this is our simul game from Sunday. How do I make use of the space advantage in the middle game? Yeah, this was unpleasant for me. Master of Life. 5-7. Eldon Music, thanks for subscribing, guys. So this was my simul game against Macros 42 on Sunday. This Sunday I'm going to be doing a simul as well. Wow, I played a perfect game. How many moves was this game? That's pretty crazy. I don't know how I played a perfect game. I don't remember. Theoretically perfect. Macros is better out of the opening, though. Alright. We're looking at it from Macros' perspective. I was black. Yeah, I felt like you were better. Knight takes d5, c4. You know, the other day someone was was looking at knight f6. One of my students had a game with knight f6, and I think that's not so stupid to go back to f6. I mean, I make the argument all the time that the knight just basically always sucks on knight 3. Whether it's this one, this one, this one, or this one, it doesn't matter. Like, knights are always 95.8% of the time not good on those squares. Like in Alekhine's defense, this move is actually not so bad for black to play knight f6. There's a game Potapov played in 2016 and drew against Alexeyev. Anyways, okay, I play knight b6, knight f3, g6, knight c3, bishop g7. I think Grishuk beat me in a world-famous blitz game in this line. I think he played a4 against me here. Or maybe it was on the I don't remember. Grishuk definitely played a4 against me. It may have been this position. I think my bishop wasn't on g7 yet. How is that possible? I guess Grishuk played a4 against me here in said blitz game. Somebody put it on YouTube years ago. Bishop g7, bishop e3, castles, and now the main line is h3. You're supposed to play h3 to avoid exchanges, and then attack like a madman with queen d2 and castles queenside. That's the main line. I had a game with what's his name? Some Ukrainian IM, Vasily Sikula or something like that, and I won by accident. He was like better, and he just like collapsed like a bunny for some reason, but he had a really good position. This h3 followed by queen d2. I mean, this is probably one of the biggest problems. There's a lot of theory. There have been New in Chess articles on this position. I mean, this is not that obscure. h3 followed by queen d2. Instead, Macros plays bishop b2. This is not as dangerous. So that's hands down the best plan. This avoids exchanges. No kind of bishop g4. You're cutting down my piece. You're not letting me develop my piece. I can't fianchetto. It's a problem piece. Please analyze my game then without the engine. Don't want to see an evaluation, says Master of Life. We'll take your request. So h3, yeah, best move. Bishop e2 is okay, but it's not as good. And then knight c6, and here he castled. So, like, probably h3 and d5 are the best. Not letting me, you know, trying to discourage me from trading pieces again with bishop g4. d5 is another move. That looks like it has a pretty good score. But I think that black can play knight a5. This is actually better than the more commonly played knight e5, the knight a5, but it's like very tricky, and black has to be super knowledgeable what he's doing if he plays knight a5. So there's more room for creative ideas here. Anyway, the way you played it is okay. Bishop g4, but it's like equal now. There's, let's see, only 4 games here. c5 was interesting. I guess I played the best moves. I don't really love this that much for black. Now knight takes d5. I didn't understand really, you know, taking on d5, bringing my queen to a good square. But anyway, he gets a decent position. It's funny. So here, and taking is out of the question. So I have to retreat my bishop back to either f5 or e6. It's not clear which one is best. I played bishop e6, hoping to get it to d5, but I couldn't find a way to get it there. It was weird. He played this. I basically like play the best moves possible for black, with the argument of maybe bishop f5 not being best. And then I didn't know what to do. At this point, I wasn't happy with my move after the game. Macros a6. I wasn't happy with a6, but I saw your queenside pawns coming down. And also, sometimes there's some positional ideas of playing bishop b5 to trade the knight off to take the pressure away from your d4 pawn. So I played a6. I wasn't happy with it, but I don't see a really good move for black here. Bishop h6 looks good. And then I was like, what do I do? You know, this is a weird position. I thought I was worse, but the engine says I'm not worse. Queen d7 is like one of my best moves. It's weird. I mean, I just want to get my bishop to d5, you know, and then I'm okay. You're basically holding. You know, a3 was a little bit slow. I mean, you could even play, I mean, I'm thinking maybe you could even play b4. But, you know, the damage has been done, in a sense, Macros. I mean, you played the c5 move, which makes you kind of backward along the d file. Now, I think that all you can do is just kind of hold the position. You can't really have an advantage, I guess. So queen c3 was good, f6, and I wasn't sure about f6, but it felt natural, and then knight d2. And the computer said e5, and I wanted to play e5, but if I play e5, I was a little concerned about my queen's, you know, presence on the backward file here. So all you can do is just expand on the queen side. b4 is good, queen f7, and now rook f1. You wanted to play f4, it looks like, and I played f5, which I didn't originally want to do, but now I was concerned about f4, f5. So knight f3, you can get away with this now. I'm playing this, and then it was just a tactical blunder. I mean, I don't know how to, you know, really answer the question of what you can do with your space advantage. Not a whole lot, you know. There really are too many pieces traded off for you to really profit from your quote-unquote space advantage. I think that the position is about equal. So if we go back to the beginning, I mean, right away you should start from the beginning, not allowing me to trade pieces. You know, that's why probably h3 is a better move. You know, here it's a better move than before, and it's a better move at all. You know, in the first place, to probably play h3 straight up. You're not allowing exchanges, and you want to play queen d2. The way you played it is okay, but it's just equal, and I don't think you can benefit from your space advantage. All you can do at this point, after two pieces come off the board, is like hold the line, you know, because your spatial advantage doesn't mean too much once two sets of pieces have left the board. So white is just trying not to be worse here, and I actually had knight takes d4, which I completely spaced on. All right, so Macros, I think just improving the opening, and then ultimately maybe just holding that ending without tactically blundering was really the best you could do. All right, let's play another game. Do we have any other challenges from the subscribers? I don't think that Arthur is a subscriber, so I'd rather play. If anybody of the subscribers wants to play a blitz game or a classical game, let me know. Yeah, I mean, Railbird, I think that your point is what I'm trying to say. You know, c5 was a very committal move by white, and while it's not terrible, it's not ideal. Grandmaster 57 is asking about if he could do better in the rook ending to win it. Yeah, we'll take a look at Grandmaster 57's game against Zug Addict without the engine turned on. Damn, it looks like a good game by both sides. 12 center pawn loss and very few inaccuracies. So NM Zug Addict is white, and Grandmaster 57 is black. It's interesting, knight c6. You know, 99% of people play like knight f6, but nothing wrong with knight to c6. Bishop c4, knight f6, and then like d3. Here in this position, I guess bishop b4 is another move. There is a funny variation where black can do like bishop b4 and knight a5. And I've seen people get tripled pawns, these Irish pawns on c2, c3, and c4 in this variation. It's kind of funny. So this actually transposes to my game the other day from the Weird Wednesday stream, where I was actually black in this line with colors reversed against some Muleskinner, I think. Now taking on g1, I don't know. You know, it doesn't feel right to me. I think that's a mistake. You know, Muleskinner could have done bishop takes g8 against me in our game as well. So it feels wrong to trade off that powerful bishop, even if you do like mess up his ability to castle. It looks like the main moves are like d6, but anyway, GM wants to know like about this rook ending apparently. Albert Vida, brother of Grandmaster. So f5. But there is a very early Alekhine game where, you know, his opponent plays d6, and I think it probably went something like d6, knight f3, or even f5. I don't remember, but Alekhine plays f5 very, very early and wins an interesting game. This was one of his like earliest games from the very early 1900s. If you have a collection of Alekhine games, kind of a good game, one of the first really great games he played. Anyway, so bishop takes, rook takes, d6, f5, same idea, and then knight a5, which seems reasonable. If it's going to be a closed position, though, you know, the knights might be pretty valuable. And you've got this backwardness along the d-file, so life is not easy for black here. Yeah, you're going to get kicked anyway, so it's hard to criticize knight d7. An unpleasant position for black. What are you going to do? You have like no space. And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you want to play like bishop b7. You got to get your bishop in the game. You're paralyzed spatially. But you're creating more weaknesses by making this move. And the backwardness here is even worse. I don't know what to suggest, though. I think probably, you know, the whole variation is sort of dubious for black. But, you know, we've got to make the best out of what we got. So maybe you can play like a5, knight c5, and queen d7 and try to castle queenside or something. Zook Addict is having none of it, though. He's just like, well, these guys who play the like Vienna are really systematic players who love closed positions usually. So he's probably done this like 100 times before. Time control is 2060. It was a simul. This is wow, just basically a fancy exchange, and I think he just let you off the hook. So, you know, he just figured, oh well, I'll open up his king, but now he's got nothing left to attack you with. It's kind of like the last game. 2 exchanges of pieces makes a big difference, doesn't it? In that case, like, the space advantage was meaningless here. Like, the openness of your king doesn't matter that much after 2 pieces are gone. And you took on f5. Damn, dude, I would be afraid to play that move. But I guess it's okay. Knight f6 is probably also possible. It's fine. So, all systematic. And now black is better. Basically played perfectly. After the bad opening, black has played perfectly. Now, if anything, white is a tiny bit worse because of the isolated pawn. It looks hard to make progress. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. f5. Wow. So he can't take, obviously. If he doesn't play h4, what the heck is he gonna do? Looks like a good move. He just blockades. Yeah, I mean, white, you know, white has the outside pawn, so it's pretty tough to do anything. Now white's theoretically has the initiative here. Yeah, this is just a draw. I mean, he has too much. Your king is out of position. You could even lose if you're not careful. Yeah, so there was nothing there. Like right here, it says black slightly better. I think it's just a draw. Your king is out of the game. I mean, your king needs to be like on c6 or something, and even then it wouldn't be that easy to win, if you can even win, you know. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, you know, you were in a lot of trouble, then you were clearly better, but I don't know here how to make progress. Maybe you could play rook h4 first. But the point is, you have some sort of bishop takes e4. If king g3, you don't have bishop takes e4. You have to play like rook f4. But here, you know, maybe that's our one try. We can go like this, and that looks like the only chance for black, basically. You know, if you can do something here and use your king to like blockade his h pawn, you can win the e4 pawn. You might have chances to win. So that looks like the only chance. Alright, we still have no challenges, guys. So whoever wants to play from amongst the subscribers, we might play 1 or 2 other games as well if we don't have enough subscribers to play. So feel free to throw in a challenge. We've got more games to analyze from Nefedov. Clash Kid submitted something. Nefedov's been waiting. All right, let's see Nefedov. We've got e45, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. This is an actual game. Thanks for challenging Soltigo. Breaks the monotony a little bit if we can go back and forth between the game, you know, analysis and blitz as well. Team Hendon 4, the Hendon mob. Hendon 4, Nick Murphy against Pavel from Hammersmith. Yeah, Clash Kid, we're going to take a look at that a little later. Bishop c4, you know, I think it's coming back into fashion because of the decline of the Roy Lopez. Alright, it's a good move against Nefedov because he loves to play the Schliemann or Yanish variation with f5. Knight f6, d3. This is best. You know, I think it's funny and all to play knight g5, but it's really been analyzed to death, and I think it's like, you know, too worked out. Probably black is okay. It almost kind of hands the initiative to black a little bit too. So I think that really, I know that the Gingy videos and all this like Scotch Gambit stuff is popular, but that's also like analyzed to death. It seems to me that the only way for white, you know, to play is d3. If you want to play, the top players are all playing a lot of d3 now. Bishop c5. Yeah. I mean, h6 is okay for black as well. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but h6, the idea of d6 and g6 and bishop g7 is a totally viable way for black to play. Alternatively, so bishop c5, c3, a6. This is main line. There was a game recently where someone very strong played like a maniac and did h3, g4, but that was with h3. This is a move that seems like the main line now for white, h3. There was a crazy game where someone psychotically played like g4. I don't remember who it was. A very strong player. I can't remember off the top of my head. Was it Nepomniachtchi? I don't remember. Like somebody crazy played h3 and g4, like Steinitz from 100 years ago. And then they won a really crazy game. This is some top recent tournament. I don't know which one it was. I can't remember now. But h3 is pretty much turned into the main line. Knight f1, knight g4. This is bizarre. There's a Luka Lenic game where he did that. My name is Luka, and I live on the 2nd floor. That's what Nevednici was singing when I was in Slovenia. He was making fun of Luka's name. But knight g4, that's pretty rare. Wow. I mean, I'm going to turn my engine back on. I want to know the truth. But yeah. Well, maybe that's why people are playing h3. Another reason why people are playing h3. They don't want to be bothered by knight g4. Though I don't think it's necessarily the only move. A lot of people play d5. It's perfectly playable. So knight g4, knight e3, knight takes e3, f takes e3, which is weird. Yeah, I mean, f takes e3, you know, I mean, it's just killing the bishop on c1. I can't see how that can be good for white. I mean, it's nice. I know that you normally do that to open the f file, like, you know, master games of chess from 100 years ago, but that's, you know, in different situations. I don't like this, like voluntarily taking with the pawn on e3, killing your bishop on c1. Caruana Carlson, are you talking about what I was talking about, where someone played... You're talking about the fried liver? Does anybody know about the game I'm talking about where white did like h3 and g4 and attacked like a caveman? Maybe it was Elianov. I can't remember. Like, it was a really strong player, 2700 plus. But anyways, so this is a really bad move. F takes e. It's great that he has good control to center, but what the heck is he going to do with his bishop on c1? You know, it's going to be like a pawn the whole game, unless he can get it out with bishop d2, bishop e1 out this way. I'm not sure what you should do. I mean, you've got to prepare yourself for d4, Nefedov. So I think if I were black, I would just kind of do that, you know. The inevitable d4 is coming. I would play bishop a7. And on d4, I guess you can go with some sort of solid move like Alekhine style. I don't know, what's wrong with like queen e7? Alekhine has a famous game where I think he goes back with knight d8. It's a slightly different position, but that's the plan. Strong point the e5 square. I don't know. Bishop e6, okay, it's not bad. This is, okay, creeping his bishop out. Yeah, I mean, he lets you play f5. That's great. You know, now once you play f5, you've got a pretty active game. Chess players don't like tension, do they? Normally it's best to keep the tension. Unless you have a good reason to take on e4. I think I'd prefer not to take on e4. I think that improves the position of his bishop. You might even be able to play f4 yourself, if he lets you. So, I don't get f takes e4. I don't even need the engine turned on. I mean, I know this isn't good. You're mobilizing that bishop. I mean, he can take on f5. He probably should consider just taking on f5 anyway. This looks like it's perfectly playable. Now he fixes his bishop too. You know, bishop takes f5's coming. Bishop takes f5, bishop takes f5, rook takes f5. There's a check. He can try to win a pawn. There's all kinds of problems on the white square. So maybe at the end of the day, Nefedov, I thought this was an interesting idea, but maybe you're pushing the envelope a little bit here. f5. That's why you took on e4 basically. But I don't know. I mean, it looks kind of crappy. Bishop b6. You really turn this into a strong piece. And he castles queenside. Why not? Now white's better. Then he starts attacking. Why not? Another question of why not. Looks pretty dangerous for black. I don't like it at all. Wow. What was this guy's ELO rating? Yeah, Nefedov gets desperate here, but it doesn't look like vaguely enough compensation. Well, you've got a cheapo. The plan is to take on a2. But he misses b4. And this doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know, man. It doesn't look good. Leaving the center of the position with knight a5. You're already in desperate trouble here. It looks like one slip and black is lost. You're on the precipice of losing now. You've really lost the initiative. White has a good game, and you have to play basically perfectly in this position not to lose. But I'm impressed by White's play. This is just going too far. So you can do like a developing move, or even this right away actually. Attacking a2, threatening d5. If king b1, d5, bishop h7 check, king h8. This was your best chance, I think. Wow, he has the scary knight h4. God, this would have been tough to deal with. Very scary to deal with, but it looks like you're maybe almost okay. But anyway, Nefedov, I think that, you know, the first question comes down to, here at this point, it looks like you have a good game. I would just retreat the bishop. You go bishop e6, he goes bishop c2. I guess you could play a lot of things here. I mean, you could even play d5. How bad is like d5? d5, d4. f5 right away. You played this inconsistent, but f5 right away. Bishop b3. This looks like a better version to do it right away if you want to do it. Bishop takes f5. You can play king h8 as quickly as you can and avoid all those diagonal dangers. You would have been okay. You had the right idea, but you just kind of hesitated a little bit too much, and ultimately like h3 just helped him to like speed up his g4. I feel like White was kind of lucky in this game. Cloudberries, welcome. Alright, Nefedov, tough game, man. I don't know. Did you lose at the end? It looks like it was like hopelessly lost. He ended up winning. Wow. That's crazy. You were just toast here. Rook takes f3, and then queen f7. He has b4. And this was just a total blunder by Nefedov. And he didn't see it. He played bishop d5 check. That's actually good enough. Man, he just didn't find queen g6. That's insane. Queen g6, threatening mate. There's like no way to protect g7. There's literally no way to protect g7 except for trading queens with queen f7. That's insane. He just didn't see the concept of queen g6, so he gives this piece, he still has it, and he's like still winning. But now it's unbelievable. This was a really, really lucky result for Nefedov. Alright guys, let's play this game with Soltigo, change up the pace here a little bit. Enough analysis for a few minutes. Soltigo, how are you feeling, man? I know you weren't well. So Nefedov getting a lucky win there. You know, you can't win every game beautifully, but the opening was okay. Just I don't know. Bishop e6 even. I'm not sure about if I like it, but it's not bad. But I think that f5 had to be played in a different manner there. That was really ugly. And your opponent, I thought he was a genius. Soltigo. Alright, d4, knight f6. Only Blumenfeld gambits allowed today. No, I'm just kidding. Play whatever you want. I've got a game on Sunday. I think I'm going to be playing International Master Gara Anita, who after living here, I've never actually played with Anita. She's rated about the same as me. Recently got her IM title. But it would be nice to play a beautiful woman in a tournament game. But it's not guaranteed. I might actually play like a weak player. If she doesn't play for some reason, I'll end up playing somebody really low rated. There's no guarantee who will show up in the Budapest Team Championship on a given day. Last game I didn't play who I was expecting to play. Gara Anita, she plays like the Philidor, I think. Soltigo. Definitely not enough women in chess. Too much testosterone at the chess tournament. Same thing with poker tournaments. There's just too many men and not enough girls. It's just the yin and yang is all out of whack. I don't know what to do about it. Knight f3, c5. What's up, Mule Skinner? Subscriber stream, guys. So I'm doing game analysis and playing Blitz with subscribers. And, well, Soltigo, we have an exception because he's our moderator. So, in Mule Skinner's club, there's only one girl. See, that's the thing. Like, somewhere, like, recently, there was an argument that, like, there's, like, 20%. I don't know, I saw someone claiming a ridiculous statistic about, you know, 15% of chess players or 10% of chess players are women. There's nowhere near that, like, in practice. It's really sad. That's our chauvinistic world. Alright, b5. Look, like there's hardly any women that watch my stream, just like every other chess event. But anyways, Hungary has a history of a lot of strong women players. Gara Anita was my teammate for one season at MTK. But she comes from a family of chess players. She has a sister who's a strong player, a father who's a master. I don't know what I'm going to do with the white pieces. Maybe she won't expect me to play e4. She'll be preparing for me to play like knight f3 or something. Maybe I'll play e4, try to take on the Philidor. Soltigo with bishop g5. This move is like, I was thinking like, you know, today looking for rare gambits. Soltigo, I didn't bother to include this in my studies because I thought it was just like impossible to even do that. Wow, Soltigo, what is that move? You are just playing bishop g5. Should I take on c4? This actually should have been included in my video today. Oh man, it could get crazy. Like if I tried to take on c4 and then hold the d5 pawn, that would be really radical, but also at the same time kind of principled. If I tried to play b takes c, I guess e4. I don't know, Soltigo, what's up with this variation? We can just try to transpose into something kind of normal, I guess. Stopping your e4 advance. 1 out of 35. In other news, the World Senior Championship is going on in Italy. I'm not quite old enough to play. Getting close, though. Bishop b7. Speaking of putting on a rug. I'm gonna need like to lose the rest of my hair before I can play in the World Senior Championship. They have a section for under 50, which is pretty strong. Like Halifman qualified this year. I guess this has got to be like the first year where he was eligible to play in the World Senior. That's brutal. Halifman. He's too strong for that. That's like, it's like candy. It's like taking candy from a baby. But Julio Grande Zuniga is also in the under 50 section of the World Senior. Alright, Soltigo. I'm not going to be materialistic, man. Just... I should probably take on c4 there. But I'm not going to punish him. I'm going to let him live. This is a pretty fast game, 5+5. But if my opponents listen to my stream, they'll know what my preparation is. Maybe I should make like false streams, like tricks, like, oh, I'm going to play e4 against my next tournament game, then broadcast it, you know, on my stream, put it up on YouTube, and then like play something else. That's the extremes we're going to have to go to. Knight c3. Wow, what is this? This is so bizarre. Looks legitimately playable for white. A really weird setup for white, but not bad. You know, pretty much you can just make up whatever you want, I guess, with the white pieces. We've come to learn. But that's what Soltigo does. He just basically makes things up. Solid positional setup for white. But the good news is I'm not down a pawn. You know, that's the important thing here. Like my first game, my opponents, they don't seem interested in winning material. Well, I mean, if somebody plays the Philidor, you know, it's kind of like, it's almost like the Modern or something. I mean, it's so hyper modern that I want to punish the Philidor. You know, you might as well play e4 if they're going to play a passive like Hannum Philidor. Knight e5, going totally berserk, like sacrificing his pawn on g2. I guess I have to play d5 here. Nimzovich Jr. playing the white pieces. Be very careful not to let this get out of control. I guess I'll play knight c6 next and just challenge the strong knight, or knight d7, I guess it doesn't matter. Maybe knight d7 rather than block my bishop on b7. Black has a decent game, but I'm really not sure that I played the most accurately. He's lost some time. Similar to my first game against Raymond Carver, in the sense that, you know, I got the central pawns, they look strong, but white is also solid and has a very sensible structure. So Nimzovich looking for play against h7. He's also got to watch out for c4 though. You know, that's the downside of playing bishop d3. The bishop may be exposed to attack on that square. I don't know about knight d7. Because maybe... Now my queen is sort of badly placed on d7. This is berserko. Rapport did something like that in one of the games I analyzed, Soltigo, so, you know, you can count yourself like in the Rapport school of the white side of the Blumenfeld. Oh. What am I doing here? Well, we're at least... What are we here? It's not clear what we are. I was going to say we're at least equal. But he just takes on e7, so, okay. I'm having weird hallucinations. I guess, yeah, we've got to take... Knight e5, bishop takes h7. Everybody knows about that. Once again, this is at least equal for black. Maybe we'll just play a solid move. We're going to try to get in e5, I guess. Nothing fancy, though. Rook takes f2. Soltigo. Still got play no matter what he does. He's always got something. Just in time. I still think that black is better here. But white's okay. I can't bust him. You had to play e4 there, and that was clearly best. But I mean, you don't had to, but it seems like the best. Now I should be better. These pawns are very strong, obviously. We have to calculate. Better but not winning is the story of this game. Not winning yet. But this is basically the strategic idea of the Blumenfeld. He missed his chance to blockade with e4. Now our central pawns are just stronger. The tactics on the b3, g8 diagonal. Still he's... what? It's a tactical trick. What? With no time, he's got this. That's insane. I'm like not even better anymore. Genius. He's a genius. F3 only move. Nothing to think about. Siltigo, why would you do that? The only move is F3, and that was the entire point of your position. Just being nice to me. He wants to let me win. That's strange. You played like a brilliancy, and then you didn't play F3. Okay then. Wow. Amazing defense. This totally equalizes on the spot. Unless I missed something, which is very possible. What did I miss here? Bishop takes e4. Oh, so I was looking at f3, d3. But the point is that I can do queen c5 first. And then I'm winning. Oh no. That's why tactics trainer is important. I'm supposed to do queen c5 first. Otherwise it was a brilliant combination to rescue yourself. And after the text move, I have nothing anymore. Okay, here, queen c5. Well, this would have been hard to foresee. He has to find bishop d3, blockading before taking the pawn with like f takes e4. And now I can try this, knight c3, with some kind of nothing for black. Vampire Princess is blocked for trolling in my stream. And now they're trolling in the spectator room, and they wonder why they're blocked. It's very funny. People are funny, man. I don't know, why would you be blocked? Because you're a troll. It's regardless of your supposed sexual orientation. All right, man. Good game. You haven't trolled me enough. You can troll me. I'll just report you as a troll. Maybe they'll ban you from lichess if you continue to do it. All right. Master of Life, good game, says him. I agree. It was a good game. Soltigo found the resource. Then what did you do? Why did you not play f3? Did you see that? Did you see that queen c5 and freak out? Like, that's why I thought it didn't work. Clash Kid. Soltigo, your chess is rusty, man. Well, not a bad game overall, you know. The tactic didn't work, but it was a really, really close call. I didn't see the refutation. I would have seen it in a tournament game, obviously, but it wasn't a tournament game. So we've got Sicilian defense. I like it. Why do you ban me? Because you're a troll? Because you trolled my stream and now you're trolling the chat? Why? Why? Knight f3, d6. Let's go to let's go to our rouser, I guess. What else can we play? Alternative Sicilians. Now, I don't play the Najdorf, and I don't really know the main lines of the dragon well enough to play that. No, so we'll have to go with our classical. We'll see here. Oh, vampire. Oh yeah, I forgot you also used an engine against me in the game. So it's not enough to just be a troll. You have to actually cheat too. Bishop g5. We've played a lot of g6 lately. I think I'm going to pass on that. We'll play e6. Queen d2. I haven't been playing this variation too much lately. It has some problems, like every variation of the Richter Rouser. It seems like the black side of the classical Sicilian in the Richter Rouser, it's not quite as reliable as like the Najdorf or maybe the Sveshnikov. I think like the Najdorf, the Sveshnikov, and e6 variations of Sicilian are probably the best. You're able to bring a new variation to the Blumenfeld Gambit. I don't know, man. I mean, let's look in chess base. I'm sure that someone's played bishop g5. Today I was doing a video on weird gambits, and I couldn't find anything other than the established main lines. But your move, playing bishop g5, is essentially a gambit idea. You know, black could take on c4 and try to play where I'm grabbing a pawn. So I think it's kind of interesting, and I highly doubt there are no games in that position. I think it's almost certain that someone has played your bishop g5 before, Soltigo, but the games may be like old games or players who are under 2200 and they're not in the opening explorer. I would be very surprised if I open chess base and I find not a single game with the move bishop g5, because it is pretty logical. Okay, knight b5, let's see. We can do different things here. I've played a6 quite a bit. It has some problems, as with every other move, the a6. Quickly played by Clash Kid, bishop e3. Most of the time, my opponents will exchange on f6. Udasin played that against me. And he beat me pretty handily. But I didn't play that well in that particular game. Bishop e3, chasing my queen away. What's the point? You can't just turn it into an English attack. You're kind of like playing with your knight on b3. I thought he had some weird idea with knight a4 or something. Can you do some funky knight a4? No, I'm taking on e4, hitting your queen. I guess the English attack with f3 would make sense. But the point is I can play b5 now. And it looks like a good Scheveningen, where I've got b5 in for free. We're just playing the Scheveningen where I got b5 in, and that's got to be good. Got to be good. Bishop g5, only 2 games in the master database. Yep. It did cross my mind today, but I didn't have time to include everything in the video I was making. Interesting idea. We'll have a little look at that after the game, maybe. Clash Kid loves chaos, and he goes g4 now. Kira's attack type of idea doesn't seem like the optimal situation for it, but it's playable. I played a lot of Kiri's attacks in my day. You're not castled at all here. I could play h6, weakening myself, with slowing down g5. Can't really hold that h6. I'm just going to play rook b8, allow g5. We'll play for kingside. Or that is queenside. Attacking chances. And Scheveningen style. I'm not going to castle into it necessarily. I was considering h6 seriously here. But it's, if I could play g5 next move and hold the g5 pawn, I would think about it. But if I try to do like h6, g5, rook g8, he has h4, just breaking up my whole position too quickly, I think. I don't know, that's my thought anyway. It's a blitz game. 7 plus 3. Yeah, I mean, it seems inconsistent the way he's played it. I mean, knight b3, a3, and g4, g5. These are things that really don't seem to, you know, mix together. Slow, kind of constraining moves on the queen side combined with ultra-aggressive pawn advance on the king side. It seems inconsistent. Just going nuts. Totally going nuts on me. Could just leave his king in the center indefinitely. Is that the thought here? Damn, dude. Knight b6. He doesn't have h5, g6 very quickly. And I was thinking of maybe knight e5, knight c4. Or even just knight c4 is pretty disruptive. Just knight c4, bishop takes c4, and his b pawn would be hanging on b2. I'm not committed to castling kingside. I used to play positions like this, but this is a very bad move for white. Stopping the immediate threat, but that dark square bishop is really his best minor piece. It's sort of like a temporary stopgap to stop the bleeding, but now long term I have good end games with a dark square bishop. I think it doesn't solve all of white's problems and really reduces his attacking chances. Bishop takes b6 is like a last resort kind of move if your position is going to collapse and you feel like you have to play it. I wouldn't do that voluntarily unless that was literally like the only move he can deal with knight c4 with. Even, well, castling knight c4, even castling maybe. Bishop takes, b takes. I have very strong play along the b file there. Okay, there's a lot of calculation you need to make, but generally not a good idea to trade that bishop for knight. h4 seems interesting. I think that's an older comment. All right, so bishop takes, queen takes. We just have the two bishops for the endgame. White doesn't really have an attack yet, and we're not committed to castling anyway. So we're just gonna try to kind of develop the rest of our pieces and keep white busy here. If he decides to castle queenside, we launch some pawn storm. We've got b4, should open up lines pretty quickly. Maybe we need another developing move or two. He's just going with a g5, h5. Like, okay, you're not threatening g6 yet. There is h6 grabbing space. I think castling is completely sound for me. Not everyone's loving that like McDonald's, but I've been in much scarier positions than this. Castling kingside is not that bad for black. g6 there. Black would probably be okay. But we might have other options that are less risky. Not that easy though. Knight e5, another knight revolving through c4 is a pretty obvious try. Yeah, all right. I'm wondering about this. Knight c4, take, take. Maybe I should just develop my pieces for a change, huh? Another possibility is knight a5, but then white would have this d5, knight d5 threats. I'm not afraid of h6. I'm not afraid of g6 yet. Castle's queenside, we have a strong attack. Maybe f4. He just goes with the whole hog pawn center. What else can he do? f4, knight, a5. It's not that easy for black. Maybe I should have played knight e5 last move, when I had the chance to do it. Kind of regret that I didn't. Yeah, he listened to me. He played f4. That's a little bit worrisome. b4. I would imagine that b4 is actually playable. Taking with the knight on b4. What is up with his king? Just instant take. And now what's the deal here? He doesn't have f5, g6, or h6 really, and his king is still stuck in the center. Castles, a5. Castle, castle, g6, rook c8. I've got to play a5. He doesn't have f5. He doesn't have a lot of things here. Rook f1. Kind of a weird move. He's trying to force through. Like he's trying to force through f5 with that. Maybe I should play g6. Physically stopping f5. Now we can castle and play rook fc8. And this is a crazy style of chess by white. Just not castling, playing with the pieces only. No dark squared bishop. It's known as a gambit. You're talking about the Blumenfeld. Please be nice in the chat. Guys, I've got a Blitz stream tomorrow, Monday morning, 10 a.m. And I want to thank all you guys for subscribing and resubscribing. He played bishop d1. That can't be a good sign for white. That's the kind of thing we want to see. Now we're out of here. Now he's going to try to checkmate me down the H file. No. Now there I thought you had a chance like to go back to H1 and try to play like rook A. That's your only chance. But it's weird now. It doesn't look good for white. F6 is possible. Why not? Oh, you might have e5, which I missed. Then again, I might have mates, like bishop takes e5. If I take with the bishop, why was I thinking about taking with a rook on f6? That's not normal. It's insane to take with the rook when I could take with the bishop and threaten bishop h4 check. This is awkward for white now. Desperation. I can blunder mate in 1. Not recommended. Everything momentarily protected, but he has some chances, maybe. Bishop g4, only shot. That's a very astute move. I don't know what I'm doing here. I have knight takes c2 check, but he's taking stuff too. Who's taking more stuff faster? Does anybody know? Rook e8, is that worth considering? And I don't know, I can't even count. Who's taking more stuff faster? I guess I'm winning somehow. I'm not even sure. Supposedly I'm winning. Every game is hard. Chess is hard. Like, even the games when I'm winning all the way, a lot of them are, I feel like I'm not even sure who's better. And then I'll look at the game and I'll be like, I was better the whole way. Like, that's odd. You know, I didn't feel like I was better the whole way. Chess is like, not easy. So, the computer will probably say I was better the whole way after he exchanged his bishop on b6. But I was scared a little bit. Yeah, like the engine thinks he's still about equal in one moment here. I should have played knight e5 probably, given the opportunity. He stops me. Then I went with b4. Well, I missed knight takes c2 check, winning a pawn, but that's not that clear. g6. Yeah, now I thought, yeah, go back to h1, and you have serious threats of queen h2, Clash Kid. I mean, that's not sure that I did the right thing, actually. That gets a little bit scary. Anyway, that was an exciting game. Typical. You jump from 5 seconds to 0. Maybe you have some lag on your. You were complaining about Twitch earlier, but maybe maybe it's some lag on your connection or something. Clash Kid, thanks for the game. All right, let's see what we got. We did the subscriber analysis games. We have any more challenges you guys want to play? Let me know. You thought you could play at the end of the position. I think you're basically lost. Though it's not that easy. Let's see. King e2. Rook e8. I was probably going to just take on a1. I looked at rook takes b2 as well. It's pretty crazy. I would have just taken this. And then I expected this. I have an intermezzo. Rook takes b2 check. Rook takes b2 check. I don't know if I would have found it in time pressure. I wasn't looking at it. But not such an easy position to play, Clash Kid. Definitely not a clear game over. If I take on f8, for example, I'm in trouble. I have to play very accurately. Knight b3. You save your guy. This is really complicated. I wouldn't want to be in this situation in a simul with no time left. Wow, what is going on? I have 17 viewers. That's nothing. Because everybody's streaming at the same time. WIM Fiona Stel Antoni started streaming. Everybody wants to see a girl streamer. And I'm complaining that there's not enough girl streamers. And she gets a blue. Why does she get a blue thing there? What's up with that? How do I get a blue thing? Chess with Fiona. Why is it an event anyway? How do I get a blue thing on the screen? Does anybody know? Man, that's not fair. Favoritism here on lichess. WIM Fiona gets a blue box. Damn, dude. What's up with that? That's not cool. I don't know, man. Not to diss her, but everybody should be treated equally. Anyway, guys, we've got time for a couple more games if you want to play. so I guess no challenges. We could just play someone random. Nobody in the stream. There's an STL Chess Club stream. What is that? What is the STL Chess Club? Is that something to do with chess.com? I didn't see it on Twitch. Usually they put, like, you know, chess.com stuff up there on the Twitch icons. If Twitch is streaming, chess.com. Can't stand chess.com. Alright, Nefyadov is going to play me 5+3. If you like playing computers, chess.com is a good place to go. They can hook you up with that. Knight f3. Transposing to an English. He played knight f6 against knight f3. I like how the Seattle Chess Club made its own rating now. You know, this Rex Sinkfield, or people attached to him, have created the URS rating system. It's like, how do you have a rating system, like, and how do I have a rating in it, you know? And I've never played a tournament. You're gonna, like, rate other tournaments outside your rating system, and, like, which ones are you gonna rate? Like, some of them and not others? It's totally bogus. I mean, I hate FIDE, but you can't just, like, make up an arbitrary rating system, picking some tournaments and not others. It's totally Kasparov trying to strike back against FIDE, but arbitrary and bogus. We've got another game. Let's try Rook FD1. I was talking about this earlier. Yasser and Maurice. But, like, what is there to talk about? There's, like, no chess event going on now, is there? Bishop e6. This is different. I didn't play queen d3 and you did bishop e6. That's odd. You got discoveries with a knight to d5. Bishop takes b7, knight to d5. Queen takes g7, king takes g7. And then I get 3 pieces for a queen? Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, let's try it. Yeah, maybe, like, they actually sabotaged our other the other streams or something. People will do anything for money. But it seems like the Seattle Chess Club's almost as bad as FIDE. Just corruption in another direction. Okay, bishop g2. They basically, like, taken over US chess. I think there's a mosquito in my office. I thank you guys for being subscribers. We'll be back tomorrow morning with Blitz and Classical Chess. Did I have a new message from somebody? That's weird. That's an old message. All right. Yeah, I thought this would be funny. I'm only getting 2 pieces for a queen. What am I doing? I lost my mind. I only got I'm like, this is some kind of king crusher thing where I'm like, I'm berserking and going crazy, and I've got, like, a pawn and 2 pieces for a queen. That's insane. Okay, sorry, Nefyadov. I lost my concentration. That was pretty crazy. What was I thinking? I don't know. That was a hallucination all along. But anyway, it's not that easy. I've got a pawn. I've got 2 pieces and a pawn for a queen. It's not really sound. We've got Houdini versus Komodo drawing 700 viewers. And then on Chess.com there's Computer playing Lenderman, great. That's really interesting. Watching a computer like crush a human. At least he's getting paid a lot of money for it. It's just like a total waste of time. This is a lost position for me, but we'll do our best. The Champions Showdown. Ah. I think I had a dream about the St. Louis Chess Club. I know this guy who's like working for them, and this made the dream come back to me, Soltigo. The other day I had a dream that the guy had like lost his job already. He's only been working there for like 2 years. And now that this mentioning of the St. Louis chess is making me remember my dream. Rook c5, that's a good move. Efidov is going to take me out here. He hasn't beat me in a long time, but he plays stronger than his rating. A lot. He really is much, much stronger than 1700 lichess. Yeah, sadly they just... But the other thing I really don't understand, why does the streamer Fiona have a blue box next to her stream and nobody else does? Is that like a paid sponsorship? I thought that, you know, lichess is meant to be treating everyone equally. It's reverse sex discrimination. Reverse sexual discrimination. But I don't want to discourage, you know, women from playing chess, so I'll shut up about it. All right. Blocking the file. Oh no. Got to be careful here. I'm going to walk into something. We've got 20 minutes left for today's stream. Nobody watching. It's really sad. I can't begin to say how much I hate chess.com. You know, it's just commercial. And, well, it's sickening that people would prefer to watch anything to do with that site. But that's all we've got, guys. So we'll just relax, kick it back, and we've got finished the stream with just 20 viewers. A6. Trying to get my pieces active here. Got no tactics. Trying to claw my way back into the game, basically, if I can use the d4 square. This is hopeless. Nefedov playing like God. I love to say that. I say that all the time. Yes, perfect. Bishop d4 now. This just resigns. He found the perfect moment to play bishop b5. But it's hopeless for me. Just not enough material. It's like playing Snowball. Similar queen sacrifice I did against Snowball. Actually. Can we get something? Anything? Maybe there's some very, very dubious chance here for white. I had a weird hallucination that I was getting 3 pieces for the queen. Not enough. I don't know, guys. Not enough you guys to keep the subscriber stream going. Only half of our subscribers. Bishop takes c5. Bishop takes e2, bishop takes d6. What's going on here? I think he's trying to exchange all the rooks off or something. That was a surprise. don't know. It's just not enough for me. I don't know why I'm so surprised by this. We just don't have enough. 2 pawns and a rook for a queen. Just about resignable. My friend once won a position like this against Korchnoi, where he hung his rook to a lateral check in a slow game in time pressure. So I guess we'll play a few more moves until Nefedov actually proves a way to make progress here. I have a semi-fortress. The semi-fortress in place. Now there's no way for him to protect the a6 pawn, but unfortunately that's not the only pawn on the board. He has moves. That'll keep me busy for a while. Well, we'll have to go in and try to get a different pawn, or I don't know what. I don't know what to do. Basically paralyzed here. I can't cross over and get my rook anywhere else. King f3. King f3 looks like suicide too. We're pretty much toast here. I guess I could play f3. That's ugly. Have any active move. What can I do? Rely on Nefedov's time to save me. We've got a 3-second increment. Wow, he played that way. Didn't expect that. He's definitely winning. He needs to make a decisive breakthrough. Hiding on g2. f5 was not the move I was thinking, but it might be good enough to win. Most likely it is. But who knows? There's still a glimmer of hope for us here. Okay, we can grab the a6 pawn. That are 2 connected pass pawns. And all the counterplay they generate here, which is so much. Not enough to save the day. f4, very strong. I guess I have to take and it's over. Well, I don't know, that move makes it a little harder for you. I guess there are theoretical... I can't believe they're sawing stuff outside. Theoretical blockades. Now it's not so simple. Oh. Yeah, this should be lost probably for white. Although, yeah. Actually, that was a stupid move by me. Running out of moves, which is not a surprise here. Technical ending looks like Zugzwang. Guys, I have time for like one more game if you guys want to play one more game. I just dropped a pawn. So I am toast now. Nefedov, nice game. I didn't mean to lose that pawn. It was probably lost anyway. I'm really good at losing these like drawn. This was not a draw, but in June I lost a sick drawn position to a guy. It was ridiculous. Like the ultimate fortress, the unlosable rook versus queen ending, and I managed to lose it. Yes, alright, good game. Queen takes e4. Probably it was lost all the way. So, no other games. Move 11, what's up? All of my viewers are gone. I guess they're watching the blue flag streamer. WIM Fiona. I want to get a blue flag somehow. How do I do that? Like, is there a special way to do that? Or you just have to be friends with lichess, or like what? What's the deal? It's reverse sexual discrimination. Bad technically. Well, not that bad, Nefedov. You never, you know, spoiled your winning position, I think. Good game, man. But it was crazy. I just hallucinated that I was going to get 3 pieces for the queen for some reason. I had initially sacrificed or gone into that position thinking that was going to be the case. Move 11, what's up? Too many chess streamers. Let's see this game with Nefedov. What I hallucinated there. So we played the move rook d1, which I was mentioning earlier. Bishop e6, and I didn't know that was mainline theory, but Nefedov knows the line, I guess. Bishop takes b7, and there's an actual game from 2017, shockingly, in this position. Rook b8. And while I played bishop g2, Meshkovs, who I've never heard of in my life, some totally new Lithuanian player nobody's ever heard of, played bishop f3. And now knight to d5, and I'm just supposed to take on a7. This was like a crazy hallucination. So I can take on a7, and it looks like some kind of draw by rep. Rook a8, queen b7, rook b8, queen a7. That's all I can do. Fair enough. I just hallucinated. But you can play other moves, like with queen a5 for a win. It looks like you can try for more. So Swapnil. Meshkovs. Wow, that is a totally new name. Then again, it's easy for people to like gain 100 rating points in 5 days now because of the 40k factor. Meshkovs was probably like 2,050 last week, and now he's 2,490 overnight. He took out Swapnil, who's a pretty good Indian player who's been improving. Actually, I did a video on a Swapnil game in the summer where he beat Ivan Sokolov in a really nice game. But apparently this is just up to date, like really cutting edge theory, Nefedov. Good job. Bishop e6, but bishop takes b7, not good. So I'm supposed to play queen d3, but then it's like, why did I play rook d1 in the first place? That doesn't make sense, you know? I think that the bottom line is that rook d1 is just not good. It's better not to do that move at all. I wanted to experiment here. Gladys Troll, if you'd like to, I'll play one Chess 960 game with you, then I've got to go. So, feel free to challenge me to a 5-5 Chess 960. Then it's time to end the stream. Nobody here today. Too many chess streamers, reverse discrimination, and the awful chess.com apparently dominating the chess streaming airwaves on Twitch. Not a good day for my subscriber stream. But anyway, we did the best we could. We had some fun, some interesting analysis. Chess Troll, do you hear me? You have 1 minute to challenge me to a 5-5 game. Nefedov was here all the time. So was Soltigo. Move 11 showed up. You guys are devoted, and I appreciate it. Why am I like in Zen mode or something? Did I just get put in Zen mode? Why does it look like I'm in Zen mode? That's weird. I don't know. It felt like I went into Zen mode. So last game, guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning. We're going to play some Blitz and Classical Chess. And we will close it out with this game. Hyper modern chess. F4 pretty extreme, opening up your queen early. Troll on a roll. Let's go bowling. Yeah, we might as well go bowling. Until I can figure out how I can get a blue banner for my chess stream here on lichess. Alright. How much do we have to bribe someone? Does it work like Eastern European style, or how does that work exactly? Okay, B3. You just got to know the right people to bribe, I guess. I like B3 a lot. That's a strong move. I should have thought of that myself. Now I feel it's kind of unpleasant for black. Bishop's coming to the long diagonal, and I don't have a really good answer for you. This is going to be strong. Your other bishop, your other brother, is going to be strong too. Maybe Troll is like a genius. Well, we know he's a genius. Yeah, this is ugly. I mean, I might have to do the really ugly thing here, G6, just to stop this bishop, and then physically stop the other F pawn with F5 and bring my knight out, crawl it out through F7. I don't like it, but he's also sort of blocked in with my bishop on A7. The Grob. Grob means coffin in Russian. It's funny. It's an open coffin, I think, with that G4, the H4 weakness. Crawling our knight back into the game. One of them. My queen is even worse than, you know, his queen. It's ridiculous. I thought his queen, I was like playing against his queen. Now my queen is even worse than his queen. Troll is brilliant with coordination. Got to be very, very careful here. I'm going to get my head handed to me. Grob style. White is just totally dominating here with perfect coordination of the pieces. Knight is not good, but that's his only flaw. All of my pieces are more messed up than his. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This is pretty bad. This is ridiculous. So I have 4 bad pieces. White has just 2. After 1 minute and 7 moves. 4-to-2 bad piece ratio. Guys, we're going to be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. I'm going to find out where my blue banner is. Hang it up. Bishop D7. He can play bishop f6. Mate with the two bishops in the middle of the board. I guess I should have... No. Never mind. Stupid idea. You could try to play bishop d4, positional chess. Shutting out my bishop on a7, shutting down that one good piece I have. And other tactics... I actually suggested bishop f6, which is probably a pretty strong move for Troll there. But he's not really a tactical player. One of his only flaws, he doesn't look for tactics enough. Worse than me in that respect. So we're able to like creep and crawl our way out of this. Basically playing the most bizarre... We're basically playing the most bizarre Leningrad Dutch ever played, I think. Now I can't castle queenside. And castling kingside doesn't feel very appealing. So we're just going to play with our king in the center. It looks horrendous. Is bowling popular in Russia? It looks like he's now coordinated his bad queen. So White only has one more bad piece left to get into the game. Let's open the position with no development. A very bad idea. I'm in worse time pressure than Troll. This is very risky to play b5, but maybe I can get away with it. It looks kind of dubious. Troll doesn't like complications. All right. He's not answering about bowling. The Russia Bowl. I enjoy bowling. I went bowling a few times in the summer. And when I was a kid, I was quite fond of bowling. Not really trendy here in Hungary at the moment. They have bowling alleys though. I think it was more popular in like the 90s. Probably in the whole world. You gotta love like watching bowling on TV. It's almost as exciting as watching humans play computers and chess. Now, if I wanted to do that, I would just log into chess.com. D4, strong move. I mean, get to play computers myself. Troll, just let me out. Damn, he's just crushing me. I have to play this. Speaking of coffin or sarcophagus, that's what my position feels like. A virtual sarcophagus for my king. He's castled, he's coordinated, I'm not, and it's just not getting any better here. We have an awful position, never could get out. Maybe I can play queen g7, it looks insane, but I've got to try something desperate. I'm literally that desperate that I'm putting my queen on the diagonal with his bishop on b2. The plan is to play queen h6 and castle kingside. It's pretty dramatic. And then continue in the weirdest Leningrad Dutch ever played. with my bishop on a7. Oh, now we've got every reason to play queen h6. We could just play g5 and go for the attack. If only I had some kind of piece configuration that made sense or had some coordination to it. It looks like I'm really seriously like resolved to playing castles kingside here. It's so sad. White with a clear advantage. He can about play e4 now. Looks pretty dangerous for me. Even if he has to sacrifice a pawn, it still looks pretty strong. But once again, Troll doesn't like tactics. You know, maybe he's not going to want to calculate bishop takes d4. And so he did d5. That's a kind of weird move. It looks like a concrete mistake. The first of the day for Troll in a roll. d5 doesn't really benefit him. And probably benefits us a little bit. He's got the long diagonal open. I wish I had my bishop on g7 right now, but maybe it's not that bad. Still, it's quite awkward. I don't see another option here. You can't make me on h8 because my knight is protecting h8. You can't make me on g7 because my queen is protecting g7. There's e4, our favorite move. And we're about to get crushed into little pieces if we're not careful. He's got no way to create a battery with the queen and bishop necessarily. I guess d5 wasn't so bad. I mean, I'm still actually backward along the e-file. Troll is a very strong positional player, but he's slow and he doesn't like to calculate tactics. Basically, you know, lazy, like me. Bishop f5, trading the wrong piece here. I have queen h5, trying to trade queens, probably nearly helpmate. Wish we had some sort of tactics for real now. I don't know if this movie would make sense for me. It probably helps him. This was really stupid to play bishop f5. Just helping white, literally. Darn. I've got no tactics. Troll's just clearly winning. I should unmake that move. There was a guy, I had a friend who played in a tournament, and the guy faced an opponent who like unmade his move in the game. He unmade his move and unpressed the clock. Troll finally missing something tactically. My only hope. We were so hosed. If you played g4 even, like, I'm really in trouble. But prior to that, I think Troll was winning with knight g3. Just knight g3, trading. Troll, you deserve to win this game. So, bishop f5 is awful, you know. I almost played queen h5. The computer says queen h5. It's a horrible endgame, but it's my only chance to try to trade queens. I'm surprised the evaluation is not worse than it is. It says I'm only minus 0.6. It's absolutely awful. This pawn is going to be impossible to hold. So I didn't do that, and I played bishop f5, and here knight g3 is game over. It's just game over. Like, there's backwardness here. I'm lost. The e6 square. He's trading his bad bishop on b1. This just wins positionally immediately, Troll. And then when you don't do that. I went here, and then okay, you blundered. But okay, if you don't blunder, like say you play like g4, You just have like a kind of clear advantage, I think. But nice positional effort. Yeah, we can see the laziness. It's very evident. It's like my laziness magnified by 3 or something. Queen h4, queen h5. The game was decent until a point, but I really let it go here. Bishop f5 was horrible. This is my good bishop. It's protecting the white squares around my king. You know, I need to go here. Okay, trading queens would be optimal. If I can pick off the pawn on d5, I'm golden. And that's my best chance. Here. I was scared of like rook f3. But apparently I'm just hanging on. h4, stopping you from killing me. It's really ugly. Anyway, Troll, thanks for the game, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. We are going to be out of here. Hopefully we'll have some more viewers next time, tomorrow, on our Friday Blitz stream here on lichess and Twitch. I'd like to thank my subscribers for playing, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks, Soltigo, for moderating. I'll see you guys later, and bye-bye.